Hello and welcome. This is Network Africa. Coming up on the program, disgraced Paralympic star Oscar Pistorius files papers to appeal his murder conviction. Then more news from South Africa as the United States plans to suspend trade benefits with the country come March 15 this year. And experts in South Sudan are of the opinion that the creation of 28 states does more harm than good. Hello again, and thanks for staying tuned to Channels Television. This is Network Africa with me, Cynthia Are. He might be down, but he's certainly not out. Oscar Pistorius is fighting back. A family spokesperson has confirmed that the Paralympic star has filed papers to appeal against his conviction for the murder of girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. Due to the use of prosthetic legs, the athlete has spent the last 3 months under house arrest at his uncle's home in Pretoria after serving time for culpable homicide. But we'd just like to take you through the latest developments concerning the Oscar Pistorius trial. Now, what has happened today? Let's just start with what preceded the events of today. You will recall that the Paralympic champion has been on bail awaiting a new sentence. You should also understand that judges overturned his previous culpable homicide conviction to murder. Now, under the new conviction, Pistorius, who is 29 years of age, faces at least a 15-year jail term. And his legal team today has confirmed that he has lodged an appeal to the courts. We'll reach out to our South Africa correspondent Betty Dibia in just a moment, but in the meantime, let's look at other developments which are happening, particularly in South Africa. Well, there's more to come on the issue of Oscar Pistorius, but for now, there's more bad news regarding South Africa's trade benefits, as the United States has confirmed that it will suspend duty-free benefits for South Africa come March 15 this year. The reason behind the move was confirmed by U.S. President Barack Obama. And according to him, South Africa has failed to meet the requirements of a trade deal. And this move could cost the country up to $7 million. The suspension is seen by analysts as a move to pressure Pretoria to loosen restrictions on U.S. farm exports, in particular on the U.S. poultry products. This is quite unfortunate because just last week, South Africa confirmed that it was close to striking a deal over farm produce trade with Washington that would see it retain the benefits of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, a U.S. trade agreement that has been designed to help African exporters. When we come back on Network Africa, we'll be joined by our Channels TV business editor. He'll be telling us more about the consequences and implications of what's happened regarding the U.S. trade deal suspension. Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now, just before the break, I was sharing with you what the United States plans to do as regards trade in South Africa. Let me just remind you of that. The United States has confirmed that it will suspend duty-free benefits for South Africa come March 15 this year. The reason behind the move was confirmed by the U.S. President Barack Obama, and according to him, South Africa has failed to meet the requirements of a trade deal, and this move could cost the country up to $7 million. The suspension is seen by analysts as a move to pressure Pretoria to loosen restrictions on U.S. farm exports, in particular on U.S. poultry products. This is very unfortunate because just last week, South Africa confirmed it was close to striking a deal over farm produce trade with Washington that would see it retain the benefits of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, that's AGOA, and it's a U.S. trade agreement designed to help African exporters. We're joined by the channel's TV business editor, Bosun Omofaye. He's right here with me in studio. Bosun, thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
For joining me on a new year, even though it's not a very...
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
The year's still new. Just the 11th.
No, 12th. You're wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know why I got the 11th stuck in my head.
Don't worry. Let's just move on. How do you see this move, this development, what the United States plans to do?
I think there's always a trade war between countries, and right now, because the global economy is in a state of uncertainties, every country that has some measure of strength will try to pressure the other one. Open your doors, I need to move my goods across your borders. If you look at South Africa as a major trading partner, not to the US, but the largest for the European goods in Africa, whether from automobile to textiles and a few others, including agricultural products. US want to move this out. They want to move their farm products. We have issues between Nigeria and the EU as far as the common trade tariff was concerned when it comes to importing poultry products from other countries into Nigeria. So we've had issues with the EU, and we're running with that. For South Africa, yes, the U.S. will not want to lose South Africa as a major trading partner. So the U.S. is under pressure. And they'll find a way to push back. If you remember, between China and U.S., there's always this push back and front between as far as trade was concerned. So it always happened. Between Japan and China, it always happened. But and this is not different.
My concern is, some analysts are saying, with this statement I have here, they're saying that South Africa has said in the past that it's concerned about an outbreak of avian flu in the United States, which killed nearly 50 million birds and could pose animal and human health risks to its economy. And the U.S. has obviously denied that, there are such health risks from its poultry. What analysts are saying is this move that was just made by the United States is based on that.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
We've had a similar issue here on the local radio stations and on television in Nigeria. You find the Poultry Farmers Association running adverts that imported poultry pose health risks to Nigerians as well. So it's not the first time. And I think African countries across board, from Nigeria to South Africa, should look at this issue from a health point of view and try to find a way to approach both the EU and the Americans as far as this poultry farm products are concerned. Because if it is happening in Nigeria, we don't have reported cases. But again, if you remember how Nigeria is pushing the European Union as far as their poultry products, they're also pushing us and saying, look, we're going to ban some Nigerian products in 2016, a few of them, including beans and a few other things. So things are a little bit testy between countries right now. But where health is concerned, as far as the avian flu was concerned, there's a need for both countries to come. This is basically pure health issues. But again, behind the closed doors, we know it goes beyond health. South Africa would want, perhaps, for its people, for the citizens to consume local poultry products and rely less on using foreign exchange to procure poultry products from the United States.
What message does this move send to the rest of Africa regarding the objectives of AGOA?
Well, we've seen some advantages of AGOA. It's benefited, according to some folks, benefited the Americans more than it has benefited Africa, because again, we don't have a very strong industrial and domestic production base. So to that extent, he who goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. So we can always keep pushing our foreign exchange exports, foreign exchange earnings to the United States and to Europe, while we bring in products from there. If we have livestock, we have poultry, we have factories that can process our own meat and our whatever here, then we can have depend on our own consumption. But we've depended on the Western world and the Asian market for so long that as soon as we want to sever some of this relationship based on today's economic realities, in which you're earning money from gold, diamonds, as in the case of South Africa and other things, your hard-earned currency, you're using it to import chicken and cattle and a few other things, that won't continue for so long. So the world is in a situation in which every small and big country is looking for local and domestic competitive advantage, so that I don't have to keep fucking money in hard currencies to you, which are earned from products like oil, gold, diamond, and other natural resources, and depend on what I can get locally. So this is a trade war, and that is what it is, a pure economic issue. However, South Africa will have to find one case or the other to say, look, this is a health issue. There could be genuine health issues, and we're not saying health issues don't exist, because some of these products have stayed